Hi, this is Giles from Accountests, and the purpose of this video is to help you interpret both our business tax and individual tax test reports. So I've got one of the business tax test ones in front of me here, and we'll go through that. But probably the most important thing to think about with these reports is that this is a competency-based test. So what we did was we got together an expert group. We developed a large question set, and we developed some competency levels, as we called them, which you can see in the report. So we developed 3 levels of competency for tax return preparers. We then provided all that to the expert group. They went through the questions, they took out the ones they didn't like, and then the ones that they did like, they then graded them into the 3 different competency levels. So the idea of that is to say, if you meet the competency threshold, which they said was 75% at each level, so if you meet the competency threshold at that level, then your candidate should be able to work at the level as it's described in the report. And so if they get to the 75% at level 1, then they can achieve at level 1 competency. If they also get 75% or more at level 2, then they can achieve at level 2 competency, and so on. So from that, you can work out at which level your candidate can work at. So these are quite, from a technical point of view, these are quality tests. So here's the report in front of us. First thing I do is look towards the bottom of the first page. You can see that David took 28 minutes. So if the time there is 30 minutes, that means that David was still working on the test at the time when his time ran out. Otherwise, you can see how long they spent in the test. If we flick through to the second page, that's just some background which you can read on your own and goes through how the test works. This is the key page. So page 3 shows you for each of the different levels. You can see there level 1, 2, and 3, and describes the level of competency at that level. You can see, for example, at level 1, there were 12 questions at that level. The candidate got 10 correct and 2 incorrect. And then at level 2, there are 18 questions, and at level 3, 10 questions. We focus the questions around level 2 because that's generally the point at which people are trying to really differentiate their candidates. So are they a level 2 or not? Whereas, generally people are not trying to do that so much at level 1 and level 3. So that's where we concentrated the questions. So you can read through the definitions of those. If the candidate didn't finish all the questions, and you can see an example here from one of our bookkeeper reports where the candidate didn't finish all the questions at level 1, 2, or 3. So you can see the questions that were omitted. So the questions load randomly for a candidate. So if they've simply run out of time, what you generally see is that there are omitted questions sort of spread across level 1, 2, and 3 fairly evenly. If they have skipped the questions they don't know, then you'll see generally a more concentration of omitted questions at level 3 and perhaps level 2, because they've looked at those and decided that they don't know the answer, so they've moved on. If candidates have not managed to finish the test by, say, 3 or 4 questions, that's generally okay. Most people are able to finish the test. If they've omitted more than 5 questions, that then brings into question their ability to work at pace, and that's probably something to focus in on at interview and at reference checking. So if we go back to this report, so then what the report does is cuts it on the areas of tax that the test is looking at. So So there's 4 areas, and you can see the first one, which is entities and basis there. So you can see how your candidate has done in each of the levels at those 4 areas. So deductions and credits, income gains and losses, and returns and calculations. So if there's a particular area that the candidate's going to work in, you can focus in on that area and perhaps deprioritize some of the areas that they're not going to work in. The next 2 pages go through on a question by question basis, so it tells you what the question was about. So you can see the first one there, taxing of corporations. That's what the question was about. It's in the entities and basis section. It's a level 1 question, and the candidate got it right. If they'd admitted that question, there'll just be a white circle at there, but you can see the ones there that the candidate got right or wrong. And then the last page is about interpretation, which is what we've been doing on this video. So hopefully that's helpful. We're always here to provide more feedback. If you've got a report that you're particularly interested to know more about or would like some help with, just forward the report to us to help@accountests.com, and we'll get back to you with what we think. So please make use of that service. Otherwise, thanks for watching.